This will be the final installment of my sister's letter, Narcissistic Parents. We went off track a few weeks ago. I had my sister edit her letter, which was given to me several years ago, and resubmit it. And I'm gonna go through. I've been going through it. Now here I am back where I started, trying to heal things that can't be healed, it seems. I think this is because you two aren't willing to change. I've tried to email and I'm not getting any reinforcement that you even want a relationship. Unless it's on your terms, which I'm not willing to take part in anymore. Yes, I believe I grew up with a mentally abusive father who didn't know me because he was busy with his life. Yes, I believe I grew up with a mother who I felt was my competition rather than my supporter. I felt more nurturing from mom and she was my real parent, but that didn't cover up the fact that I felt like she didn't really like me sometimes. I don't have to go into every single detail because we've been there. You know how I felt about being yelled at the dinner table and choking on my food, how ugly I felt, how scared I felt of my dad, how much of a failure I felt I was, how much of a liar I felt like I was. That is the past, and now we can leave it there because I finally realized my worth. It came from a husband who loves me, awesome kids who support me, a brother who I finally know and love, and from inside of myself. My own determination got me to where I am. I understand how my brother feels, but feeling like he shouldn't have to prove himself to you, but doing it anyway. I still feel that way too. I still want you two to be proud of me. I still want you to tell you I still want to tell you that I'm a senior in college and getting my bachelor's degree next year. I want you to know I'm working at college and I even substitute for a professor that I assist. Are you proud? I am. I love you both, miss you both, but most of all, I miss what we could have had. Where do we go from here? I want to be the one to help you through your old age, but we don't have that kind of relationship. Can we? I just don't know because I think you two have it in you to see what's happened and where it needs to go from here. I still have hope and a lot of forgiveness in my heart. Like my brother said, when he and I were given the opportunity to be brother and sister, as well as friends, it worked for us. He's one of my biggest supporters, my therapist, and my best friend. I never thought that I would ever be able to say that. This is another thing that could have happened when we were younger. He has many things in my life that's unbelievable sometimes. He has a big job being my baby brother, but he does the job well. The difference between my brother and I is that our journeys are in different places. He's still getting over the injustices that were done to him, and I have no place for that anymore. I think he's close to filing them away, though. I did. I went over and over these memories my whole life, and I'm done talking about them. It is what it is. I now feel like he had the harder job. A man has a lot to deal with, and as it is, so for him, dealing with his father, who decided not to mentor him, but to mentally break him down, almost destroyed him, but it didn't. He has gotten through the drug addiction, gone to college, be successful enough to help people deal with the same battles I did. I'm so proud of him, you should be too. I don't know what else to say. I do know that both my brother and I saw some of the same patterns coming out towards our kids that was inflicted upon us, and that was one of the biggest reasons we stepped back. I made a vow, and I'm sure he did too, not to allow that to happen, and it didn't. For some reason, my daughter and his son were the ones picked on. Of course, we raised them to know that wasn't acceptable, and it didn't destroy them. My daughter even decided that we should stay away from when Dad was around. That's pretty bad. I still can't get over the fact that there was a letter written about her not being able to succeed because she was so much like me. She graduated and we were the only ones there to see it happen. Same with my other two. That was a huge accomplishment for all three of them. Then she went to Hollywood and somewhere people only dream of living and got her certification in makeup artistry. My youngest daughter is an OSU student, joined the National Guard, and will attend college again when he gets back from boot camp. I'm beyond proud. My daughter lives in her own place now. My other daughter has 2 jobs and bought her own car, and my son bought his own car. They're successful members of society, and they didn't wait until they were 40 years old to do it. My husband and I support them 100%. It's the only way they know that they can do everything they want. I just hope that there's some way we can all be a family again. I now believe that this unfortunate step has come from you both. Additionally, I can't put myself back in that place ever again. The last battle was my final one. I can't fight anymore. I don't have it in me. I look forward to my grandchildren someday, and I hope that you two are part of that. Time will tell. Well, that was put very well. The thing that I get from the end here is it's been a little bit since she wrote this, so this was her kids when they were in their early 20s-ish, you know. And they're all very successful now. Like her son is, you know, in the military. That's what I was thinking. He's been in the military. He's married. He's got a kid. They're doing great. Living the dream. Her other daughter is the same thing. Married, has a kid, doing her thing, living the dream. And then the same with her third daughter. So that was kind of the thing about my parents with them. Like all of them, especially, I mean, my mother was bad for it. Make it known. And my mother used to talk mad shit about these kids. And they're good people. They're no longer kids. And Melissa, too. All these accomplishments that she's had. She's had these accomplishments. I seen her do this. I went to her graduation. That was the thing that actually first got me looking at that. She says she's about to get her bachelor's. Well, since then, she's had her master's. I went to her graduation. And that was the thing about my mother. When I had came back after an estrangement and my sister was back at the same time, my mother was trying to discredit that. She actually said that my sister must have printed off the diploma. And I said, hey, you know, and it was actually kind of sweet because that my mother never got herself in a situation like that where she could be checked. I was like, I was there. Me and my wife went there. We drove to Illinois to go to it. We spent the night. We spent time with her family. And my mother hated that. That was true. And my sister said again in here that, you know, she doesn't understand. You know, mom was there and blah, blah, blah. But she didn't understand why she hated her sometimes. From my standpoint, my mother hated my sister. As time went on, it was worse and worse. But even when I was a little kid, when I was, you know, my sister's 7 years older than me. And my mother just used to just disagree. I really just don't know what the problem was. I know that my sister like fought back because she was a teenager and stuff. I'm not discrediting that. You know, she was probably an asshole too. But, you know, hey, now that I'm 48, I can say she was a teenager. Teenagers are assholes. I don't remember my sister doing anything to the point where somebody would hate her to that degree, especially her parents. So she does a lot of going on about being proud of her kids, and that's good because my sister had to prove to them that her kids were worth anything. They talked about her oldest daughter when she went to Hollywood, when she was saying got her makeup artistry. I've talked to my oldest niece plenty. We know each other plenty. And I know she did just fine, and she did these things. She went to Hollywood and got her makeup thing, and I love her, and she's a great person. But my mother would talk mad smack about her all the time. And that's her first granddaughter, you know? So my sister has a legitimate gripe here. But that's it for her letter. On the next one, it's mainly going to be for the rest of the thing, me going, I just wrote a little installment today. I actually wrote one here. It's 2023 February, and actually almost a year later I'm like, hey, here it's this year, like March 2024, so I'm starting to do some real-time stuff and some ideas about titles and things, so I'm getting ready to button this up. This is going to be the book closer, and all this crap about my mother will never be able to be retrieved again. I'm finished. Close, but finished.